All right, so real quick, I want to talk about two paths that we can take to improve our lives. Neither being better or worse than the other, they're just different. And the first path being what we could call the path of comfort, the path of ease, path of convenience, where so many in our culture think comfort, ease, and convenience equals a better life. Is that true? How do we know? Just asking these questions. The other path being the path of resilience, where life is hard, life is uncomfortable. Um, but when we sit in that discomfort and we stop trying to change it, the discomfort actually fades at the level of perception. What we perceive to be uncomfortable gets much easier when we stop resisting it, stop trying to change it. So, to improve our experience, we can take two paths. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like we can really walk both at the same time. But we can walk both at separate times. So, path of comfort, getting a better, more convenient, cozier life. Nothing wrong with that. I'm about it to a degree. Um, Again, do what you need to get more free time. Go on those nice vacations if you really want. Like, get the nice drip. Like, look good, eat good, whatever. But know that there's no end to that comfort. There's no end to how cozy you can make your life. And what's interesting today, we see so many that are trapped in this sort of hedonistic view of maximizing pleasure, minimizing displeasure, maximizing comfort, minimizing discomfort. Again, sort of hedonistic, connected to our culture and our view of a better life. And when this is taken to such an extreme, we can easily get caught up in trying to bubble wrap the world. Some of you may know what I'm talking about, as in this whole woke wave. People trying to control what other people say, how other people treat other people, so that feelings don't get hurt. And that's not a bad thing objectively, but imbalanced, unbalanced, whatever the word is, it can easily get out of hand to where we're oppressing the freedom, free speech of people to try to make some people feel better because they have not yet built up the skill of resilience, the skill of being able to zone it in, cut through this bullshit. Who gives a shit what someone calls you? Like, who does? You do if you care that much. Like, and again, I'm not trying to be a dick, but again, it scares me when this, again, attempt to bubble wrap the world goes to such an extreme where we're potentially taking the freedoms away from people in order to make a small population feel safe. What does that mean? What is safe? Again, we're on a flying rock rotating through the void. That's just from a materialistic lens. You could also say we're just looking inside of mind right now. This is a dream. There's no difference between dream state and waking. That's an illusion. They're identical. This is just experience. What is safety? What is death? These are ideas, stories, narratives. Who are you that even needs to be safe? We are this place. Anyways, I'm not going to go into that. But um, again, the necessity of balance, as the Buddha states, the middle way is the optimal path always. The balance between extremes, the balance between polarities will take you home, take you where you want to be optimally, help you really taste this life, enjoy it, accomplish your goals by not trying too hard, not completely letting go, by not pushing too hard and not just letting things fall away. Somewhere in between. So again, relating that back to this two path analogy, two separate paths to improve life, one being the path of comfort, the other being the path of resilience. So resilience, this is something that is built through experiencing discomfort, sitting with things like pain, physical, mental, and emotional, spiritual, psychological, all of it. Sitting with it. And for me, I saw this firsthand in meditation. When you're on retreat for 8 hours a day, it's like a purification. You're just sitting, staring at a wall. Your legs hurt, your back hurts. And you see that there are these waves of resistance. Oh, I shouldn't be here, finding every excuse. Yo, I should fucking bounce. What am I doing here? Why am I sitting looking at a wall for 8 hours? I got better shit to do. Seeing all this resistance arise. And then there will be these lulls where the wave dips and the resistance fades away. And all of a sudden, the pain fades away too, to differing degrees, depending on how much of that resistance fades. But this is my analogy for the benefit of the path of resistance. When we sit with pain, discomfort, and we don't try to change it, actually, we let it be there, you'll actually find that the discomfort fades because it's not the pain that is necessarily the issue. It's our resistance to it, saying, oh, this sucks. I could be doing anything else right now. I should leave, get up, whatever, not feel this. When we have that mindset, we are resisting our experience of, say, physical pain, and thus amplifying our experience of suffering. So, if we want to improve our lives through the path of resistance, it involves sitting with pain, sitting with discomfort, physical, mental, emotional, letting it be there till this equanimity arises. With this equanimity, things start to fade. I mean, radical equanimity. Not something that can be thought, something that can only be really experienced. As just really being with something. So you can't just try to let go of pain. You gotta be really good with it. It's hard to even put into words, to be honest. It's just like a. And when you let go, there's nothing really to hit. Do you understand what I'm saying? So when you don't resist, there's no impact. It's almost like wind flying through the atmosphere. In order for it to make a sound, it has to hit something solid. It has to hit something. So when we are not solid, when we have released, let go into the pain, into the discomfort, that pain has nothing to hit. So in a sense, the suffering fades too. As Shinzen Young says, and I'll quote this forever, our experience of suffering is equivalent to pain multiplied by resistance to that pain. Again, our suffering at the level of our perception experientially is equivalent to our experience of pain multiplied by our resistance to the pain. So again, pain is there. It's like the wind. Now resistance is like the trees. When the wind hits the trees, it makes a sound, and that sound is suffering. And if the wind hits no trees, there's nothing. Can't say there's any wind. How can you tell? Unless it hits you, unless you hear it. I don't know if you could follow that metaphor. I honestly think it's kind of fire, but it might be confusing. I'll dial it in at some point. But um, okay, bringing it back. We got two paths to improve our lives. One, the popular path would be the path of comfort, ease, and convenience. I want nicer things. I want more free time. I want nicer food, more sleep. Yes, yes, yes. Of course. But this needs to be balanced, or else it'll turn into, billionaire style wealth inequality in some directions, as well as trying to bubble wrap the world, trying to make it a safe place for everybody. And that's what happens when we don't have a healthy dose of resilience and finding the freedom and not trying to change anything at all. Again, finding the freedom and not trying to change anything at all. Just the way that it is fine, actually. It's our resistance to the way that things are that fucks it all up. Again, this resistance is hard to deprogram. It's very experiential. For me, it was like, again, meditation was the biggest thing. Meditation, sitting with these things. Oh, yeah. On retreat, again, meditation retreat, sitting, staring at a wall for hours a day, everything in your psyche is coming to the surface. The way I put it, it's like everything that you can come to terms with in your mind, in your life, in your past, your narratives, your fears for the future, everything will come up. And everything you can come to terms with will come and go. And eventually you're only left with that which you cannot release, that which you cannot let go of. And this is the fear of death, the fear of failure, the fear of lack, the fear of trauma in the past, replicating in the future. You're left with only this, these terrifying things. And that's the purification process, sitting with that discomfort until it can be released. And it is simply by saying, this is not okay, this is not okay. No, no, no. I can't be a failure. I can't be a loser my whole life. I can't be not enough. Till it releases. And it's gone. It's like pulling these thorns out of our deep psyche. But my God, is it painful. And again, it's like if you could just consciously be like, I just want to let go of lack. Boom, it's gone. Easy. Doesn't work like that. It's going to be painful. That's how it is. Yeah. Well, I can go into that actually in a different talk. But yeah, so the necessity of sitting with discomfort to develop a resilience in order to actually release the pain and the discomfort. This is another path, the path less traveled by. That has made all the difference. I think that's a Robert Frost line, but yeah, I took the path less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. It's actually my dad's favorite poem. Anyways, the path of resilience, the path less traveled by, the popular path, the path of comfort. Both are modes, paths to improve our lives, for sure. And again, none is better than the other. But if we only think that the path of comfort, ease, and convenience is the only way to improve our lives, it's limited and it's going to trap us. And there's another avenue towards not just a better life, but radical freedom with resilience, cultivating that deep, radical equanimity and resilience. We can quite literally become free of this life, the ups and downs, the pain, the sorrow, the agony. It's a product of resistance. And if we sit with the pain, not just pain, discomfort, subtle discomfort that we're actually not even aware of, there's layers to this. If we sit with that long enough, pull these thorns out, we can really become free of caring what other people think about us, how successful we are, if we live a long life, if we are live a healthy life. These are all conditions, and we don't have to depend on these conditions for happiness. If we resist this life and what it brings us, we will be in pain. And that includes if I get hit by a bus tomorrow, if I get cancer and die slowly. It is what it is. Will it suck? Yeah, for sure. But it'll suck way more if I resist it. And it's getting hard to just let these things go. It's a practice. And I'm working on it every day, ideally. I mean, it's improving your life, my life, for sure. That's why I know this, because I've been doing it. And again, I want to emphasize again the middle way between the path of resilience and the path of comfort. Both are extremes. Both aren't objectively wrong. There's people living good lives in the wheel of samsara, in the path of comfort. Good lives, it's all relative, right? I mean, I don't know. Maybe. Anyways, and then there's people who are deeply free, sitting with life, releasing the pain, the discomfort, psychologically, physically, and otherwise. And again, I think there's something magical about the middle way, not falling into the polarities, riding that edge, riding that edge. And it'll take you where you want to be, unless you want to ride the poles, and then do that. I'm not telling you how to live your life. My name's Duff, and these are two paths to improve your life. Yeah, comfort and resilience. Let me know what y'all think.